Welcome to this CrowdProperty funding opportunity for the rooftop development at 13 Lower Marsh Street in London, SE1 7RJ. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. That's under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So this project is the Phase 2 being launched on the 2nd of April 2019 at 10 o'clock in the morning, where CrowdProperty will be raising £200,000 from the previously completed loan agreement of £450,000. CrowdProperty agreed to lend that £450,000 in two raises, and the loan commenced on the 2nd of November 2018 for an agreed 15 months maximum loan period. Phase 1 raised for £250,000. This covered some initial costs, and Phase 2 will be for £200,000 to continue the construction works. The property is situated on the south side of Lower Marsh Street and immediately to the south of Waterloo Station. Lower Marsh Street is off Westminster Bridge Road with access to the West End, and the property is part of an end terrace 3-storey 1980s building. Planning has been granted for the conversion of the rooftop to become a penthouse suite. The borrower purchased the freehold of the property, including the rooftop, in 2016. And the RICS valuation of the existing rooftop with planning is £295,000. RICS have also estimated the gross development value based on a conversion to a 2-bedroom penthouse is £950,000. Remember, this is a 15-month loan. That's a maximum loan term from the original commencement date back in November 2018, with first charge security being obtained through the existing loan agreement. So the borrower is proposing the conversion of the rooftop to become a penthouse suite. Lower Marsh is a street in the Waterloo neighbourhood of London SE1. The street is adjacent to Waterloo Railway Station and the Old Vic Theatre, that's in the London Borough of Lambeth. Lower Marsh Street is one of London's oldest and best loved market streets. A vibrant road, home of the popular Lower Marsh Market and a variety of vintage shops. There's pubs, bookshops, art galleries and a variety of coffee spaces and restaurants. The entire property comprises a ground floor shop, 2 apartments on the first floor, 2 apartments on the second floor and a rooftop that has planning for a penthouse. The borrower only owns an apartment on the second floor. They own the freehold and also the rooftop space. Other areas are owned on long leases to other third parties. Now, planning consent has been granted by London Borough of Lambeth Council. Their reference number is 16/02230/FUL, with permission being granted at 3rd floor, that's the rooftop level, for the erection of an additional storey to provide a 2-bedroom apartment. Construction is through an off-site manufactured pod delivered to site and installed in a few days, with contractors then fitting out the interior. It commenced on site in March 2019, with completion expected at the end of June 2019, and the remaining loan term for this phase is about 10 months. On completion, the penthouse will be refinanced and held by the developer. Remember, first charge security is being secured. So here's a location map then. You can see on the right hand side exactly where the CrowdProperty flag is here, close to Lambeth. Across the Westminster Bridge here, this is the Houses of Parliament in Westminster, so you can see its location. When you look at the closer map, you'll be able to see exactly where it is in relation to Waterloo Station, just under the tunnel here. And that's where it's positioned. Let me tell you more about the location and the building. So 13 Lower Marsh Street is located adjacent to Waterloo Station and just off Westminster Bridge Road, with direct access into the West End. The street scene is active with brick paved areas, traditional lighting, restricted traffic, and it includes market stalls, external eating areas and boutique shops and restaurants. The property is an end of terrace building of solid brick construction covered with a flat roof. The ground floor comprises a retail outlet and the first and second floors comprise 4 separate flats. Here's some photos of how it looks. The property comprises, on that ground floor, it's got the shop. There's 2 apartments on the first floor, a further 2 apartments on the second floor, and then the rooftop that's got planning to be converted into a penthouse, and the borrower already owns the freehold to the whole building and that rooftop space. So this development then has that planning permission for the conversion of the rooftop to become a penthouse. The total site area is 0.165 hectares or around about 0.21 acres. The gross internal area of the penthouse will be 1,119 square feet, which is approximately 103.98 square metres. The penthouse apartment to be realised is 882 square feet, that's 81.98 square metres, and then it's got its own private balcony, which is 237 square feet, around about 22 square metres. Here's a floor plan as to how the proposed design is going to look. Access will be via a stairwell here, which will bring you into the penthouse flat. There's also access via a lift just here straight up into the penthouse. You've then got a bathroom section just here with a bedroom just off, a further second bedroom here with another bathroom, and then you come through then the kitchen area, which leads you into the dining space and the living room, with then access out onto the terrace, which is the outside balcony on that roof space. Here's another drawing of it, a proposed elevation. So we're talking here about the pod that's going to be placed here on that roof space with the balcony just off, and there's a lift overrun space just here, metal cladding on this frontage just here, and then a powder coated balustrade here onto that terraced area. So progress of the works carried out so far: while the appointment of the design team to complete the detailed architectural and structural design has happened, extensive surveys including recovery of the original drawings of the building, the appointment of the contractor and signing of the JCT contract with the bespoke modular BM Developments Limited, that's all happened. The completed party wall agreement is in place. Commencement of the off-site construction of this modular system is happening. Commencement of work on site also. There's also removal of the existing materials and waste. Then over the forthcoming months, the works planned include preparation to the party wall, demolition of the existing stairs and concrete platform, superstructure to include the internal and external walls, the party walls, the roof system, windows, doors and roof lights. Internal finishes also to include the first and second fix, that's carpentry, kitchen installation and carpets. Also the electrical installation, TV and satellite, and also fire alarm. Here's some more drawings here of the off-site modular fabrication. You can see here it all details then the lower Marsh site. These are the pieces of the wood then structurally being put together and formed here inside of the factory to a high specification. So here's then the overview of the project financials and the proposed loan. So the current market value of the rooftop with planning consent is £295,000. That was prior to the commencement of any works. The estimated new build cost of the penthouse apartment is £400,000. That's the estimate including the fees as agreed by a quantity surveyor. The total gross development value verified by RICS is £950,000. The first phase raise was £250,000, of which £188,000 has been spent so far. This second phase raise that we're talking about on this webinar is for a further £200,000. The initial loan to value was 61%, and the loan, including the interest to the gross development value at the end of the loan, is 52%, assuming it goes full term. The exit strategy, remember, is to refinance the penthouse suite and hold. So that total loan facility that's been contracted is for £450,000. That phase 1 raise was £250,000. This phase 2 raise being sought is for £200,000, with the remaining loan drawn in stages upon the independent monitoring surveyor's reports. Initial loan to value being 61%, reducing to 52% when you include the rolled up interest and assuming that the loan goes the full term of 15 months. The first charge has already been put in place against the property. It pays 8% per annum interest, with the interest being paid at the end of the project. The maximum loan period then 15 months from the 2nd of November 2018, with the phase 2 loan term being approximately 10 months maximum to coincide with the original loan agreement. The phase 2 monies will commence earning interest on the targeted date of the 12th of April 2019, with the capital plus the interest being repaid from the refinance. So the borrower is Oriol Cervantes. He has a Master's in Business at University of Barcelona and an MSc in Finance at the Aarhus Business School. He's also competent in IT project management. He's Prince 2 qualified. He has IT service management, qualification of ITIL, and a financial consultant skills at the Ashridge Business Schools. Through his 20 years or so career, he has worked in the private and public sectors and in the chemistry, telecom, humanitarian and insurance fields. He's familiar with the EU legislation. He's worked for international organisations including Herxt, Clariant, BT and UNICEF. He's now working as a strategy business analyst for UNDP. Oriol purchased the apartment at 13 Lower Marsh in 2006 as an investment for £199,000. And he's appointed Corrado Accardi as the lead consultant and project manager to supervise the project, and also BM Developments as the lead contractor for design and build. So here's more details then about the lead consultant. Corrado holds an executive MBA from the London Business School. Corrado is a chartered engineer with 16 years experience in construction, the costs and the project management. He's worked on the contractor and client side as contract and project manager on residential and retail projects in Italy as well as the UK, with values ranging from £200,000 up to £2.5 million. Projects he's managed include a £50 million renovation of a 450-room Intercontinental Park Lane hotel in London, development management for the construction of the £30 million 145-room Adina Hackester Market Apartment Hotel in Berlin, pre-contract to coordination of the £20 million Nuclear Academy in Cumbria, that's as part of the UK, and a £130 million Borgo di Via Salata, a 5-star hotel development which is in Italy. So your next steps then please are to make sure that you fully understand this loan, and then do carry out your own due diligence both on this project and on the development team, and then decide how much you would like to lend against the project. Go to CrowdProperty.com and pledge on launch, which is Tuesday the 2nd of April. It goes live at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then CrowdProperty will make the necessary anti-money laundering checks against the people wanting to invest in this project. And next you'll be invited to send your funds to the CrowdProperty solicitors, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So thank you for watching this webinar. I hope you're able to help us fund this rooftop development at 13 Lower Marsh Street in London, SE1 7RJ. This is the second phase of a 2-phase raise looking for £200,000. My name is Andy Haynes. Thank you for watching this webinar.